G'day guys, I just did the Little Birdie show this morning. Some people are a little bit worried about not getting the information first before other people. If there are races where I intend to bet and definitely bet, I'll certainly make sure everyone's got the heads up before they'll go out. But I'll go over what I talked to them about first. So the two races I did were the Triscay Stakes and the 2-year-old race on Saturday. The 2-year-old race on Saturday is dominated by Metallicity in the early betting, so it's about $1.90, $1.95. I'm against it, and it has tried up quite nicely and quite strong, but it looks like it wants further. Number one for me, obviously a stable, scared to take on at the moment in the Snowden camp, going very well. My concern is that the horse has obviously been up for a little while. A first campaign, so it's hasn't even had trials before, and I'm assuming like it's had been in and out, but this is the first time it's been mature enough to get to the trials. It's had 2 trials. It was scratched on the 15th of January after it trialled on the 4th of January. Then it's come back 2 weeks later and trialled again, and now it's showing up first up. They're obviously trying to get it to a race like the Slipper or something like that. It's a $15 chance or something crazy in the Slipper at the moment, but as we've seen with 2-year-olds, they are day-to-day propositions, and I'm scared that this horse has sort of been stretched, had a setback, been stretched, and now they're talking about taking it $1.90 from an outside draw with Tommy Berry on it, having its first start in a race. So obviously looking for something to beat it, and I thought the horse that was most interesting is a horse called Rise of the Masses, one of Gay's that had one start, so it had 2 trials, a break after that, and then trialled again, and now we see it. What I want to show is its first start win. It's not a flashy horse, and that's probably why we're getting the price we're getting on Saturday. But it's a tradesman, good speed out of the gates. You love to see that, and most importantly, good fight. The horse here gets a bit lost down at Kembla, which is not unusual, especially when you're trying to get away from that inside. Looks in all sorts of bother here, and just keeps fighting. The horse on the outside's got its measure, but it keeps bobbing. So this is its first start on a heavy track without blinkers. Time was okay, nothing special. Then it comes back, trials again, and again a very similar performance. So customary good gate speed, finds the front, but again sort of waits for them, and again sort of fights them off. And I don't think this horse is anything flashy, but I just think he's a really honest, tough horse. Had a good look at the rest of them, nothing too exciting there for mine. Miss Fabergé seems pretty short from another awkward draw off, an okay trial. The other horse that I thought was interesting was Mumbai Jewel. Anyone who looked at the review of my meeting there, I thought it was sort of sat wide, slow out, had everything against it, the bias, and sort of kept trying, even though it was beaten a long way. The tempo, everything was against this horse first up. I wish it drew a gate. It's drawn horribly, but could see it sort of plugging in on the end of a 3-wide line there, or if it jumped cleanly, racing more forward and improving Mumbai Jewel. But I thought that Rise of the Masses could certainly lead this race and lead it comfortably around the $15 mark, and that's why I'll probably make it a small play today. I actually really wasn't even going to, but I've kind of talked myself into it here simply because I can't see $15 each way holding up in a race that's so devoid of early speed. Metallicity may push forward, but I don't think it's that sort of horse. I'll probably leave Mumbai Jewel alone simply because of the gate, but certainly not talking anyone out having something on it at $14, and just going to suggest a small play on Rise of the Masses, simply with the blinkers going on. Obviously didn't trial in the blinkers there. That little added dimension, it's gone well enough its first start to run well here. Add that on, plus the race experience trial back onto a firmer surface. This horse has got a bit more upside than $15 suggests, so that's why I'll make it a small play. And the other race I looked at on the show was the race 9, a horse that I would have been interested in at its early opening price. They went up $5 or $6. Snap Dancer, which looks silly. Why I like it here is simply fitness and setup. So you've got horses that are going to kick up from the inside draw. Snap Dancer drawn perfectly to slot in behind them. Then you've got horses drawn wide that are going to have options to push, but regardless, Snap Dancer should have its options of where it wants to sit, just behind the tempo. This horse, as you can see, nearly every runner in the race 105, 98, 105, 70, 483, 147, 112, 175. Nearly every runner in the race is first up or off a break. This horse has already been to 1300, back to 1200 here, so it's gone 12, 13, back to 12 off 28 days. Should be absolutely ideal. Set off a slow tempo there up at the Gold Coast and really put them away nicely, strong to the line. Always scared of that Gold Coast form, but what I do like is a hard fit horse bringing that edge to a race like this. What I even like more is that it should be just off the speed, so it should be able to take advantage of that race fitness. And then you've got horses like It's Me off a 483 day break and Promise of Success that are likely to be sort of in awkward positions and have to overcome those positions and run down a hard fit horse who should be in a perfect position throughout, fit, strong, and just a really honest type. And I think that puts it in really good stead here. Yeah, I think $3.60 is probably about its right price, so I'm not making it a play. At $5 or $6 definitely would have. So they're the two races I previewed that'll come out later today with Little Birdie. I'll send out the small bet for Rise of the Mass in the first, and it'll just be 1 unit each way. And we'll go from there when I've done more form. Thanks, guys.